Hello. During my coaching sessions, some questions have been cropping up, and that is why I've decided that I share this with you in case you are also one of those people who have these nagging questions about how to move from a challenging situation to wherever you want to be. So I'm going to be focusing on process. And you may be one of those people who is already over 40 and you are preparing to get an additional business for income, or you are over 50, you are preparing for retirement, or you are no longer happy in your current job. However, you do not just want to get out and land in a very difficult situation. So you may be one of those people, and that is why I decided that let me share with you what has worked with me. Process. I'm Linda. I have been communicating with some of you. If you are new, you are welcome to my channel. I was a teacher. I became a lawyer. I became a special advisor to some people very senior. And I have also indicated in my previous videos that I learned lessons when I worked very closely with Nelson Mandela. That is why I have published a free ebook on freedom and success. Feel free just to click on the below. There is a description which will lead you to my website, and that is where the free ebook is published. So you are welcome. Process. It is very important for us to organize ourselves when we are planning whether to start a business or just to live meaningfully, to have a process so that we are not all over the show, so that we are not sucked by fear and panic, particularly when we are a bit mindful of the challenges some people have faced when they move into an unknown territory. I'm one of those people who moved away from a professional 9-to-5 job and decided just to be an entrepreneur. I have indicated that I was not adequately prepared, but because of my background and training, the landing was not as hard as it would have been. And my sharing this information with you is to make sure that at least I am a person who protects you or who guides you in order to avoid what I now look back and consider to have been pitfalls for unpreparedness. The process. This may sound unconventional, but it is very, very important. I guarantee it will work for you. It will give you a solid foundation to move forward, even if you just want to move forward in personal development. And that is why the focus is going to be on the process. And for me, I am going to be indicating to you that for the foundation to be strong, it is important that you start working from your inside out. What does that mean? What this means is that the external world has many challenges, and the challenges are such that we can easily panic, be anxious, and give up. However, I know that you do not want to give up because you have no choice but to move from where you want to move and be transformed to cope with something new, something that is meaningful. So, failure, I can only say, is not an option. If you do fail, what is important is to get up and soldier on. The process, starting from inside, is the best option. What do I mean by starting from inside? What I mean is that when you start from inside, it's important that you look at yourself, you look at your values, you look at your fears, and you look at your thoughts until you discover that actually your thoughts are not you. Your thoughts don't define who you are, because who you are in essence is a winner, an unlimited, free person who is capable of rising above the storms of life. And those storms, they rage outside. The storms of running short of money, the storms of dealing with difficult families, the storms of dealing with challenging employers, the storms of not enjoying good health. There are many storms outside. However, I am saying, if, regardless of those storms, if we become strong inside, we are in a position like a pilot to actually fly above the turbulence. And that is why I'm going to keep on harping how important it is to be strong inside, because that strength is going to come from reversing or dispelling the values that limit us, the thoughts that instill fear, and that voice that tells us that we are going to fail, that we are not up to the required standard. That thought, the thought of discouragement. What is important is that we listen to the most quiet voice, or we just remain silent. And we can only do that if we cultivate a habit to wake up in the morning and just spend quiet time for an hour. Even if we don't do anything, just to be quiet and feel how we feel, observe our thoughts. If there are negative thoughts, to actually ignore them and tell ourselves that we are going to have the best day, that we are not going to entertain negativity no matter what. You will not get into this habit overnight, but I dare you, give yourself just 14 days, 2 weeks to get up in the morning and just be quiet. Sometimes get up in the morning just to give thanks for the warm and comfortable bed, for the roof over your head, and then go outside and embrace nature. Take a walk, even if it is just round the block, or you just stand outside and take a deep breath, just to breathe fresh air early in the morning. Do that. Why do I insist on this? Because it frees space for other ideas to come in. If maybe you have been circulating in just one groove, you get out of that limiting groove, and somehow, out of the blue, you find yourself with a new idea, and an idea that I challenge you to take on. Follow that process, because it will land you, it will lead you somewhere. So I call this the quiet morning rituals, so that you are strengthened inside, so that you are prepared for whatever is outside, and remain firm. So I call this the process. That helped me quite a lot, because there were times when I wasn't sure whether I would pull through to where I am now. At one stage, for 2 months, I just had to focus on salvaging myself from a situation that I was not prepared for. However, I got up. I did not give up. I got up. I was determined that the entrepreneurial route I had chosen is the best, and that I was not prepared to go back to formal employment, to reporting to whoever. Let us face it, global politics, governments are not, most of them are not delivering human beings or citizens to where they are. So you and I are fortunate that we are having this conversation, because the conversation is that you are on your own, that everything is in your hands, even if globally we think that things are falling apart. Inside you, things are not falling apart. Things will not fall apart as long as you are solid and you muffle the noises that make you anxious. Instead, let us celebrate that modern technology is now making it possible for us to be a global community. I am talking to you. You may be anywhere, but you are right here, and we are sharing this experience. I am sharing the experience that I went through, that has worked for me, that has lifted me to being a coach, and not just a coach, but a coach who shares something that is special, something of value, not just for money only, but for you to be the best person you want to become. That is unavoidable as long as we continue looking inside first and then looking outside to manage externalities that are totally beyond our control. Geopolitics is totally beyond our control. The weather patterns are totally beyond our control. Hatred, people who are socialized to discrimination and hate and doubt and anger, those are totally beyond our control. But you are in control of your inner world. And that is why I decided to dedicate this video to the process and the inner process that leaves you and I solid to take on whatever life brings to us. So, before I conclude, some people are facing challenges, as I've indicated. Maybe they've been laid off. Maybe retirement is looming. Maybe you need additional income for the education of your children. Maybe you just want to be a work environment where you can be creative, innovative, and be free to be yourself, that you no longer find yourself in a work situation that frees you, that makes you happy, that makes you feel that it's worth it to get up in the morning and go to work. So this video is for you because it worked with me. What I'm sharing worked with me, and I can guarantee that there will be something that is a takeaway that will make you feel better, inspired, assured. And if that is the case, do remember to click the like button below. Also, subscribe. And I do hope that you will also share this with friends or associates who may find value. Thank you very much for your time, for listening, for watching. I do not take your time lightly. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.